Now, today's CrayCray Wrestling review, I actually have the Bearded Bro with me, and it's going to be a twofer, because I know what goes on in the main event, so we kind of need to find out, because we're going to be left on a cliffhanger.
Money, 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 money. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, Bearded Bro here, watching the first match, which was the SmackDown Money in the Bank, which we had debate on who won that. I thought Daniel Bryan was going to win it, and you know what? My boy came through and won it. It was the start of the Yes Movement. Daniel Bryan. It was a nice back and forth ladder match with everybody. We got to see Cody Rhodes, who was great in WWE, Justin Gabriel, Sheamus, Kane, Wade Barrett, who I missed because he's got some bad news for you. Alright, so not a great match, but we had Brie Bella against Kelly Kelly, who I kind of forgot about for a little bit. Kelly Kelly won, nothing to write home about. I feel like this was a time when Diva matches weren't the best thing on the card, but they also weren't the worst, and this was kind of an match.
Third match on this pay-per-view card was Mark Henry taking on the Big Show. And over the past few weeks, these two have been going at it. But this match actually begins what would later become the Hall of Pain era for Mark Henry. And after the match, he put a chair around Big Show's leg and injured it. And Big Show would be out of action for the next few months. And the next match is the Raw Money in the Bank ladder match, which featured Rey Mysterio, Kofi Kingston, Alex Riley, R-Truth, The Miz, Evan Bourne, Jack Swagger, and Alberto Del Rio. It was a good match. Had its high spots. Everybody pretty much got a finisher in there somewhere, some sort. The Miz actually got injured in the process, dropping and buckling his knee. Had to go to the back and get checked on, and this was actually a real life injury for him. And come back out so he could do a spot that he was supposed to do. Bravery by The Miz, I love it. But Alberto Del Rio ended up climbing up to the top of the ladder, using a little cheap maneuver by taking off Ray Ray's mask. Ray Ray covered up his face, and he got the briefcase to be the new Mr. Raw Money in the Bank.
As you can probably hear, we just finished up another match. It was Randy Orton, the World Heavyweight Champion, versus Christian Cage, with the added stipulation, if Orton got disqualified or anything like that, Christian won. To me, this was a match more dominated by Randy taking over, kicking Christian's tail feathers, and towards the end, Christian spat in the face of Randy. Randy was not a fan of that. No sir, no sirree. Randy was like, jumped on him, hit him with some punches, and then once they separated and got up, he kicked Christian in the crown jewels. And then the fight spilt over, got near the Spanish announce table. We know what that normally means, but as we all know, Randy and Spanish announce tables don't get along because, Randy and the Spanish announce tables don't get along. And he went back and tried it again, didn't get along again either. So, Randy lost his title, and he also couldn't beat a Spanish announce table.
The event for this pay-per-view is one of my favorites in the past 30 years, and it is CM Punk taking on John Cena for the WWE Championship. Now, CM Punk, at the time, was actually leaving WWE, and at midnight on that night, he was going to quit. He hadn't renewed his contract. And what was very special about this is it was in Chicago, which is CM Punk's hometown. So at the beginning of the entrances by the two superstars, it was basically a 90-10. 90% of the audience was for CM Punk. 10% was for John Cena. But by the end of it, it was probably 60-40. And CM Punk ended up winning. And Vince McMahon tried to stop it by screwing him over like he did Brett. Although we all know Brett screwed Brett. John Laurinaitis went to go call for the bell. John Cena decked him. He ended up getting back in the ring. CM Punk hit him with the GTS 1, 2, 3. Then they tried to get Alberto Del Rio to come down and cash in his Money in the Bank, and before he could even cash it in, whoop-ah, right upside the head with a kick. And CM Punk ended up going through the audience. Sorry.
Hello, beardos and beardettes. Just finished watching Money in the Bank, as my boy just said. Possibly one of the greater main events of that year. This was a hard-fought battle between both guys. Kind of a big back and forth. One of my other favorite things was seeing Colt Cabana in the background, because it's boom boom Colt Cabana. I will say it was cool to see Punk win. You know, nobody really knew what was going on. This is a storyline they kept very close to the vest. Like, a lot of it was not leaked. A lot of stuff, people thought he was going to leave. And he did win the title. So if he left, he could have showed up to TNA or Ring of Honor or New Japan or somewhere with the WWE World Heavyweight title and thrown it in a trash can. But now on to Monday Night Raw.
Now, for this Raw, they have the WWE Championship Tournament. For the first match in the tournament, it's The Miz taking on his former protege, Alex Riley. And it is so brave of The Miz to actually come down and perform, because he buckled his knee the night before after dropping about 10, 15 feet. Brave guy. But he actually defeats Alex Riley. So, on to the next match. Take it away, Bearded Bro.
And the second match of the WWE title tournament saw R-Truth, not with Little Jimmy, mind you, I think that comes later, versus my friend and your friend, a real American, Jack Swagger. And unfortunately, Jack Swagger just could not pull off a victory, so R-Truth goes up in the ranks to get a shot at that WWE title.
The third match for the tournament, it is Kofi Kingston taking on the new Mr. Money in the Bank, Alberto Del Rio. And in a surprising victory, Kofi gets the win. So, on to the next match. No, fourth.
And match number 4 of the tournament saw Dolph Ziggler with Vicky Guerrero versus Rey Mysterio. I don't believe he had the junior at this point in time anymore. Was a good match. I always felt Rey put on solid matches when he was given somebody that can work. And Dolph is always a solid performer, in my opinion. Once again, though, when he's given something he can do. And, so I would say if I had to pick who I thought would have won, I surely thought Dolph would have won. But it was Rey. And it throws me off because I forgot that he had a couple World Championship runs in WWE, so he could be adding another one tonight, folks.
Next match, we actually got a break from the tournament, and it was a 14 Diva tag match, and it lasted all of 30 seconds. Alright, so it was AJ, Beth Phoenix, Eve Torres, Gail Kim, Caitlyn, Kelly, and Natalya taking on Alicia Fox, Maurice, Melina, Rosa Mendez, Tamina, and the Bella Twins, Brie and Nikki. And seriously, it lasted 30 seconds. It almost took them more time to announce these divas and get them down to the ring than it did the whole match. The Glamazon, Beth Phoenix, defeated Rosa Mendez with the Glamaslam or whatever it was called. So yes, on to the next match. Back to the tournament. We are now in the semifinals where The Miz took on Kofi Kingston. Kofi just couldn't get the job done to defeat The Miz. And The Miz now goes on to the finals. So here we go.
Alrighty, boys and girls, here we go. We had Rey Mysterio versus R-Truth. And Ray came through. He got the win. Looks like R-Truth's going to have to go home and tell little Jimmy that he didn't pick up the victory.
A shocking turn of events, instead of having the finals for the WWE Championship Tournament to see who would win the vacated title, Rey Mysterio or The Miz, Mr. McMahon comes down And he's going to fire John Cena, since John Cena couldn't get the job done the night before at Money in the Bank. But then, all you hear is, "Behold the King of Kings. Get on your knees, punk." And then here comes Triple H, who had a meeting with the board of directors earlier that day. And he relieves Vince McMahon of his duties. I guess we're going to have to wait till next week, because we're left on a cliffhanger. Who will be the new WWE champion? Will it be Rey Mysterio? Or will it be The Miz? We'll find out. See you guys then.